These are our friends from 6 hours away. Dream.org.
3.5.
3.5.
All right.
John Baldwin.
Hey, I believe we met before.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah, I'm gonna call
You
it
always on.
Hey, Morgan.
back.
Nice,
There's
nice to
Congressman
meet you.
McGarvey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? You doing? Oh my goodness. There's a blessing in the past. I love it. I'm doing fine. Well, guess who's here with me? I, Joni.
But
Where's
don't die.
Joni? So,
It's
rock.
a whole party, Amanda. It's a whole party.
Oh, I'm glad to see you again. It's fantastic. Yeah.
That's my boss.
Well, she did amazing work when we were in the Kentucky General Assembly together.
She still
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very much so.
Oh, we both have the scars. We both got the scars. So, oh, it's so good to
Oh.
see you. It's so good to see you. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. See ya.
Good to see my friend.
Good to see you too.
Oh,
Y'all be
I think
safe. Be safe. Love you too.
You look
Okay.
good. You look skinny.
Skinny. Look how teeny
I
she is.
know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you get to a certain age, you gotta ask.
No, you do, because you're like, wait a minute, we got to make sure. Yes.
Between Metro Council, working here, my daughter working for Alzheimer's Association. Who has time to eat?
She said, "You didn't tell me about working for an elected
Oh,
official."
yeah. By the way, these two women are both retired.
Right.
To my Facebook post that said, I need to look up the definition of
I
retired
know.
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
working more now than I was before I retired. Yeah. How
But what would we be doing?
Thank you.
We're helping people.
I know.
It's all good.
We are.
8 o'clock this morning, get a call from this lady. She's got this couple. One, the mother is disabled, low functioning. The father is a convicted person. They're going to lose their house, Section 8 wives, and
Oh my gosh.
this is. So I'm trying to figure out. Wait a minute, does Section 8 have an ombudsman that I can talk to,
Mhm.
and stuff like that? And when do they start renting to convicted fellas? You know, when she
Right.
got 5 kids, and I don't want on the street, so I drop off my granddaughter at school. I'm circling their neighborhood to see. Okay, the house don't looking bad, but what's really going on? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Jackie, for staying in it with us.
Y'all could buy me lunch sometime.
Oh, okay. Well, you know I can do that.
Yeah.
I said,
You took a 5-minute lunch at Chipotle.
I did. I did. I said, I'm gonna eat today.
Have you
Because I
been
don't
to
know.
Salad Chick?
I have. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, we went there.
Shamika was having.
Shamika, we went there with Shamika.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really good.
it is good. I said, I know where we're coming from. I know where we're going. Now, I'd misjudge it because there's a whole bunch of high school kids. And I'm like, Chipotle at 11:45. We can walk straight through, get food, boom, be gone. And we did it.
We did it.
We did it. A few
Good.
more kids there, but
We're gonna take a walk around the perimeter and end up back in the lounge before he heads over to the spot you going
Yeah,
to.
I going to make sure everything's right before.
Through every
Before you.
note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
Say this though, you are coming on the heels of some really serious things that are happening that was not planned. We were informed that we had fines. And the reason why we're taking a walk around our space because the fines are regarding the upkeep of the outdoor space,
who finds you?
codes and regulation. We did a press conference, great Sunday morning, Resurrection Sunday, because the fines are a push. We know this is a targeted effort. And the reason why we're saying that is before we moved in here, Everything was boarded up, and there was feces and urine all around this space. And what our teams did, we rallied as outreach specialists and said, let's go talk to our people. You okay today? We got the lounge. We said, let's go talk to our people and let them know that we're going to have functioning bathrooms, we're going to have water, so that we can have all movement
Yeah.
and our stop. Now, the problem is bathrooms are not available within the radius of this space, which is very important because as you can see, we are right
Yeah.
smack dab in the middle of where our hospitals are, where our free care, our that we have, our the reason why I brought you around here, we fought and fought between the city and the
Yeah.
owners of this property to put sharp containers out here that we would man and take care of. We buy a space so that we can keep it clean. Well, between us meeting with Deputy Mayor Nicole and Shamika's team, which as an ED of Vocal, set those meetings up. We never could come to a solution about who is responsible to approve us to put a sharps container or a trash can receptacle right here. The other thing is bathrooms. So what we learned though, because of our wonderful journalists who show up to speak truth to power with us, is that those fines of $600 is not in fact the right amount. It is actually $5,100, and we have not received any of the other letters to give us that. They all come within a matter of the last month, really starting in April, and we have not received the letters. We are outside of the actual time frame to dispute them too. So now we're in a bind, which is why I'm like, this landed
Yeah.
in a great way for you to kind of see what we're up against. We're not just up against the environment when it's freezing and the pipes get frozen, we can't open. We're up against our own city who's not making it easier for us to do the work. And it breaks my heart that you have to hear that today,
So
but that's
no trash cans.
no trash cans. The ones that you see out here are the one on our parking lot.
Yeah.
Both us and Vocal, we pay for it, and then Dollar General pays for the one. But those have to lock. Makes sense because of safety, especially in the winter. They would set a fire to stay warm. So to keep that and limit that, we want to make sure that we lock those at night. So where else do we put trash or use the restroom? And as Shamika said on Sunday, most people who want to use the bathroom behind a closed door. No one wants to use the restroom on the sidewalk. So it's just disheartening to see that when we're doing so much work in the community.
And also, why are they finding you all for it?
They're sending the fines, the way that I've read it, is that the fines go to the owner, but they're supposed to come to the lease, the person who's leasing the space, and we're held responsible. I don't understand that. The problem I'm having with trying to understand it is that we have been meeting with Deputy Mayor Nicole George for over a year, regularly, every other month, to try to build a relationship with our city to say, what else can we do? And we've never been informed, ever. We have a meeting coming up Friday, and I'm really hopeful that Deputy Mayor shows up for it because we want to have a conversation. We want to know what is it that we're supposed to do. We're told that code and regulation was they're instructed to be here at 7:30 a.m. every morning. Opens up at 8 o'clock every morning. That they're operating, and they actually kick off the cleaning up outside. So if you're coming at 7:30, you're not informing us. We receive notice after the fact we are being fined. We don't have a corrective action plan put in place or not giving us an opportunity. The only other way this appears to be is a targeted effort. And so I want you to take a look at the
Yeah.
space and get to
Yeah.
know what we do. When we go inside, we want to be able to share. I'm going to walk keep walking. I don't know why I thought this was KYHRC right here, y'all. But once we go in, I do have some things I want to share with you. You have a briefing of it, so you can kind of look through it later
Do yeah.
but just the conversation, you are the first individual from Congress outside of Senator now, Herron,
Yeah.
Representative, to say representative, and you're the first to actually say, have you come and tour
Yeah. I'm thrilled to be here.
our space? Like this is
How about how we get some of the other politics? What's going to happen if you all aren't here?
exactly. We'll go ahead and start with the
Yeah.
tour, so we can stay on time. Joni, you got us on time. You all wanna go in first? All right, so
Check in.
Noy, you're gonna check in. So as you coming in, you are actually participating in
Sure. It's Morgan.
what happens when people
MORGAN.
walk.
McGarvey. MCG.
MCG.
AR. Oh, V is in Victor. EY. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
And zip code is
Four
402.
oh five.
Age.
45.
And what you are doing here today?
Harm reduction.
Harm reduction. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, cool. Absolutely. Thank
And
you.
Noy would like to be able to share with you as we wrap up. You'll have enough time. We'll make sure that we end our tour part in enough time because Noy is someone with lived experience who he wanted. He do not like to tokenize people.
Right.
But knowing, hearing about all the things that's happening to the organization he served in, he said, I want to speak about it. So he would like to share with you as we
Yes.
conclude.
It's cool. Thank you. Look
Yeah.
forward to it. Yeah.
So as you come into the lounge, Alicia, who is our harm reduction program manager, her team, she oversees the team that provides the services in this line. I want to give Congressman a brief overview of what that means.
So we make sure that when our folks walk through the door, they feel welcome. I know your staff member Elizabeth said it's such a welcoming space or actively using does not mean that you're still not a person. So we want to be welcoming, we want to be inviting, we want to be able to offer services. We have our Narcan, fentanyl test strips, housing test strips. We're able to sign up for SNAP benefits, as well as phone services. Literally, the list goes on and on. We've had Walgreens here to do immunizations for our people who are
That's
wanting
awesome.
to do that. Trying to work into the Susan G. Komen bus to come and do breast exams for our women who are houseless.
Yeah.
But literally just trying to have everything that they need in one space is what we were trying to do here at KYHRC.
That's cool. About how many people come in every day?
Anywhere from 60 to like 120. It just varies on
Wow.
the day.
Wow.
People are trying to get out of the elements.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you had like a busier season. There's like days where you know, okay, hey, look, it's 2 degrees outside today.
Yeah.
We're gonna have,
Yeah.
or it's 105 degrees. Like, is there? Do you predict those at all?
Literally, when the weather is extreme, is when a lot of our folks
Yeah.
come in. They do come in because we do have hot meals and beverages. So of course, I want a meal as well.
Right.
But yes, we have noticed. We were taking a organization reset when the winter storms came. Our executive director said we have to pivot, we have to open the doors. So we were able to have our people come in during that extreme weather. So it kind of varies, but we're going to see around an average of at least 60 to 120.
Do holidays or anything? Is there any other difference you see? Summers or anything?
No, the summers we're in here, we have the air cranking high just so
Yeah.
people can have that relief.
Yeah.
We've only been open for a little bit over a year.
Okay.
But we've been able to be blessed to see a lot of folks in here
Good.
and to help people navigate to other spaces and to greater spaces
Yeah.
and literally do harm reduction, meet people where they're at. So yes.
And that's the thing with harm reduction. We may not be providing the clinical service. I'm like the clinical alcohol drug counselor, so I could feel a service. It's intentional to be the space. A lot of people come in and say, "Well, what do you do?" And I say, "We're the connectors." As you heard about some of the partners that show up in this space, the food, we don't cook it. Feed Louisville, that's a community partner that actually provides the food. So we don't have to be everything. But where's the space where a person can come and continue to be who they are so that we can help them move to the place they want?
That's exactly right.
Right? So it's important that we stay in our lane as the connectors, as the linkers, as people in our community. Octavia, Octavia, you work with
public safety and health.
Okay.
My job title is to come to make sure once the finance is out there, my job is to come and see what's really going on. Here at the second room, it is beautiful. They actually give a lot of resources. Client come in and they don't have an ID, social security card. They offer first entry, give them resources, give them the steps how to obtain your driver's license, your ID. The next step, the more of it is that you have. That's the moral. That's steps. With that being said, we all have to come together, come up with a safety net to uh, to stop the crisis. We definitely feel a crisis right here in Jefferson County. And once I seen the review as far as the fine that was placed here, my concern was two types of fine, in-house and soil. The fine was out there on the soil. With that being said, there was no audit conducted here to substantially say, hey, we're not going to be supposed to, failing. Like, no, it was out there. With that being said, that gives me the indication this is this is not the problem. Maybe if we can come up with the smallest solution to fix the feces, because that's been major. Major cities have portable potty stations in the area. Why we can't get that?
Yeah.
That'll put a stop to the
Yeah.
feces. With that being said, the grievance or the complaint came from somewhere. We don't know if it was the leasing agency, but it wasn't state. We get back. This is what we are for.
So
To serve.
having partners that actually do the safety part too show up in here. So we open our doors to everybody. We want you to see like this
Yeah.
is what's going on. So we have participants in here today. We're gonna walk through because I'm keeping my eye on the time too.
Hey, how are y'all
And
doing? You're doing fine, man. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, I'm Morgan. Good to see you.
I'm
Definitely.
Rose.
Yeah.
so we just wanted to be able to show you as we wrap up, you'll be able to take a look at some of the items that we do provide, some of our partners that
So
leave their
is this a
card.
fentanyl test kit?
These are fentanyl test kits and xylazine test strip kits.
Amazing. I've
We
never had
also
it.
have xylazine is a horse tranquilizer. It's a large animal tranquilizer. Here she comes on the phone, councilwoman.
And are they cutting stuff with it? Are
So yes, so what we do is we provide because a lot of people ask, why do you have a cooker in there? Well, people were taking like large cups of water, and it diluted the substance, so they wouldn't get a good reading. So we wanted to make sure they don't have to have sterile water, but this is the amount of water they need to test their substance. So xylazine, the same thing, right?
That we're seeing newly or
About the last year, and the thing about this is a non-opioid.
Hmm.
So the naloxone works really well with opioids.
Yeah.
When the drug supply is contaminated with this type of poison, the naloxone cannot reverse potentially fatal. I'm not. And what's the benefits? Yeah.
And they just scheduled this. And the problem with scheduling xylazine is that it comes with a criminal charge now.
Is it
So
Schedule 1 or 2?
I can't remember what the scheduling was for xylazine, but the concern I had was again going back to now we're going to criminalize it. That's the only way to stop it because everything that's scheduled now can come with a criminal charge, a penalty. I'm concerned. I'm like, this isn't even something that's made on the street. This is for animals.
Did they get it from Ben's office?
That's offices,
Black
a lot of
market.
rural areas, they have horses, they have animals there.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. And the dark web, you know, we can cut down TikTok, but we can't cut down the dark web. But that's another story.
yeah.
So you know.
Thanks for having me here today.
Absolutely. Right.
Wow.
For half of 2022, it was illegal to even possess.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at the.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they're here for.
So this space we want to make a meditation space.
Yeah.
So when we had our 10-year anniversary, we put up our vision, and this is kind of where we'll land today. Just to kind of share that with you and to thank you. I wanted to see if they wanted to kind of squeeze in here. I know.
We can all squeeze that thing.
Yeah, I don't know if
Come on in,
the
guys. Come on in.
reporter wanted to.
Yeah.
This is where we'll land and share my thoughts. And of course, you have a bagel, but it sounds like y'all ate something real quick. So,
Okay, we did. Thank you.
um, I'm gonna go ahead and say some words if you wanted to get that on. I know I got you carrying that. That thing heavy.
All this media.
I know. Thank you both for being able to join us today.
Care if I put a wall light on
You want to put one on Congressman? I can stand closer, or it's up. I could be on me too. Okay.
Do you, well, if you want to, we can do her. If you, I
Yes,
can
and
stand
then
up with you after.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I've got is a little phone camera.
I know I usually
She can come in if she wants to.
Hey, hey, I know you're watching the live stream right now, but I want to take a moment to tell you to check out this new book right here over my shoulder. Believe me, it'll be worth it.
Hey guys, before we get back to the live stream, I'm Tracy, the bartender at Southern Hospitality Bar and Grill, located at 3402 West Broadway. You guys got to come and check us out. You can call your order in, and the phone number is 502-822-1474. Again, I'm Tracy, the bartender at Southern Hospitality. Come check us out, guys.
Come on over here.
come over there. Okay. Yes, sir. That was Steve Imhoff from the board. Remember him?
Wow.
He's donating to our organization.
Blast from
A
the past.
blast in the past. Hey, beautiful. I'm
Hey.
sorry. Do you want me to sit on this side of you?
Oh, it's up to you. You up your call though?
Go ahead, my love.
Cause always on the
I
call.
know. It's a donation.
That's right. You talking about us? No, I'm just kidding. Well, when you're ready, I'll get started.
I'm so glad you all came
I'm gonna
down.
slide this.
This is beautiful.
All right, thank you. You gonna slide it that way? Oh,
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
so I just I wanted to stay on task and kind of just be intentional about your time. So first thing is I want to thank you, Congressman, for coming today, for your support and for showing up. This wasn't just a tour. It's a declaration that harm reduction does indeed matter. We're not just doing the work, myself and my team and everyone here. We are the community that's most impacted. And this is personal. Um, I'm not just a leader, but I'm a daughter. My dad, at 17, went as a Marine Corps vet to Vietnam War. Went over there as a 17 Chicago boy and came back addicted to heroin, crack, and alcohol. And I imagine if he had a space like this, that his relationship to substance, his journey through recovery would look different. He wouldn't have became and stayed homeless for so long. He would have had a space where there was love and compassion and not non-judgment to care. is one of the reasons why I ran for office. Is prevention should be before punishment. We need spaces like this. Unfortunately, the incumbent that I ran against last year, uh, State Rep Beverly Chester Burton, has policies for youth that are centered around penalization, like, and punishment. And that concerns me because we highlight criminalization and then we suffocate and silence prevention because people don't see harm reduction as prevention. For folks like you, as a congressman, and Councilwoman Shamika Parrish Wright, former state rep Joni Jenkins, and Senator Keturah Herron, you all champion your voice around these needs, around Medicaid being cut, around houselessness, being the voice. We need that. We know that you have been a champion for bold policies. Former state rep Joni Jenkins championed a very bold policy, a pilot program for safe consumption sites, right? We need that. We want to amplify and expand the voices of those who are in political leadership. We want to show that we are here and we want that. Now, what we need. This is the nitty gritty. We need to name harm reduction as an essential public health infrastructure. The ER department, behavioral health, right? Our public health departments, all of those are named and elevated as essential. Harm reduction is essential. Without these spaces, if we have to leave, what will we see? We just gave you a tour of what this space looked like with us being occupied. I kind of wish we had toured you when we first moved in so that you could see and witness that transformation. We need equitable oversight of our abatement fund. A lot of people will say we have committees. Those committees have been handpicked. They're handpicked out of communities that do not represent the people in this room. None of us. They're not from the geographical spaces. They don't identify with our communities that have been unhoused. That's disconnected. And it's not fair when we're talking about legislation and policy.
So translate that a little bit for me. When you say that the abatement funds and the committees over, what does that actually look like? How does that impact you guys?
So, for instance, in Jefferson County, when they were picking the actual, and I looked to Shamika because we brought this concern to the voices of community activists and leaders because they speak on these issues. They were looking for individuals to be a part of the committee that would oversee the city's allotment of abatement funds.
And that's from the opioid settlement?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
from the opioid settlement. Uh, Vocal elevated the need to have folks who are from the lived experience communities to be on there. And I would like you to take just a couple of seconds to share why what why is that important. I'm glad that you wanted to
That's a
highlight
great
that.
question. I would just say quickly, Vocal Kentucky, we are led by members and leaders who are directly impacted, including our staff. And so one of the things we looked at is of some of the cities were treating the opioid abatement funding as philanthropy. And they were putting people in charge of decision making who are connected to philanthropy. And not to say that business community philanthropy has a part, but it needs to be led by those most impacted. And we need those people at decision making tables to choose and say what works, what doesn't work. We asked this current administration to add 3 seats. Our mayor has the ability to add 3 seats, and we ask that those seats be people who are directly impacted and people like Matt LaRocco, who works from the hospital lens to help make sure people get connected to service and care. Because we are on the ground and we're doing the work every day, so we know what it looks like, and that money is blood money. It is not philanthropy. It's blood money that is going to be distributed over 18 years, and it's going to dwindle down. And as it does that, we want to make sure that has it had an impact? Has it helped right a bunch of wrongs that were made? These were made by professionals, doctors overprescribing, pharmaceutical companies overprescribing, and pushing the doctor to do it. The pharmacies themselves, we see Walgreens shut down several of their locations. All of these entities paid into this abatement funding through that settlement, and we as was one of the states that were hit the most. We were hit badly, not just in our Appalachian region, but also here. And so we saw also there was a disconnect, as she's saying, to black and brown people. Even though we had overall numbers go down in overdoses, those numbers still are high for black and brown and marginalized people in poor communities. And so, not to say that these people can help make the right decision, but because they're disconnected, they don't know. They like some decisions are being made to one commission approved funding to go to paint police cars for Juneteenth,
Right.
using abatement funding to paint police cars for Juneteenth. One some recently in Kentucky, they used the funding to build an ice rink for kids in the community. Now, well, I love the kids. I got a lot of them. And I like how is that translating to getting
Right.
down to the ground to the people? So that's what our worry is. If you don't have the right people at those tables, those kind of decisions seem well thought out and meaningful, but do they get to the center of the problem? So we work together because they do services. We've grown in services by choosing this high needs area. We know what that looks like. We know how far those dollars can go with harm reduction work.
Yeah. So I wanted, that's why we partner, is because having that voice to say this is why it's a problem and not just us saying it. And then one of the other things, reasons, or per se, what we're asking is champion long-term federal investment. Your voice on the Budget and Veterans Committee to secure future funding and to make sure that the current funding with Medicaid dollars for 60,000 individuals who use treatment service around substance use disorders, specifically opioid, having your voice champion that we shouldn't have to fight for dollars. With that 18-year stretch, why isn't there a federal, some legislation speaking to long-term support for this epidemic and not just a 1 year try, right? Which is what our agency did get, 1 year to make a 180, to turn around 5 other counties outside of Jefferson County. That's unfair and it's unreasonable, and no data supports a change that significant happening ever if it's accurate and ethical. So, supporting federal investment, saying that we shouldn't have to fight because once I'm done dressed like this, I have to get out there and do the work too. So we're not sitting behind desks and we're looking. It takes a lot of effort to try to fight for the few dollars and the pennies that everyone throws on the ground for us to catch.
And then add that they've been subplanning some of that. So positions like at the health department,
Right.
have traditionally been funded through our city budget, and then as all the ARPA and COVID monies have run out, they're looking for ways to supplant those positions, and they're using opioid abatement money for that as well. So you already had the position, you were already funding it, but now because you have this money coming out, that's why we are diligent about following it around. There's a state level, and then each county got their own. And then since our city and county has merged, the decision making relies on the committee that the mayor put. And so if they're making these decisions and it's a lot of supplementation, then you don't see the money go to the what is where it's needed most, the work that she
Absolutely.
does. So and because she got I say she harm Kentucky Harm Reduction Coalition got that funding from the state level. Did you all get it from the state, right?
We got both state
And
and
city.
city.
And so when that happens, a lot of times when they go back and say, hey, we've been able to help, you've used our numbers, you've used our data. Now we need more to make a more impact. Because as you know, we have 120 counties here, all in need of work, which is why we joined at the hip to grow our statewide work together. But then they'll say, oh, you got it from the state, go back to them. Or the state will say, you got it from the city, go
So
back
you
to
don't
them.
need anymore.
So that's why we need watchdogs there. And then at the federal level, whatever the federal government was going to do, we need to have that strengthened. And we want to be allies and be there to support that. But we also want to make sure locally folks see the difference between the two.
The biggest point, Congressman, is that this isn't charity work. We have the data. We've shown it. We demonstrated it. This is public health. This is primary prevention. We are preventing overdose deaths, but we're also preventing folks from having an unhealthy relationship to substance, which includes alcohol, bourbon. All of those areas is what we touch. And I have a very large concern that the focus is very much so on things that are also like Medicaid, very important. What happens if the place shuts its door? What happens if I have to lay off staff and we can't operate? And that's the disheartening truth as we continue to roll through this administration right now. And again, I think that's why it's very important for you to really on the ground, boots on the ground, what's happening. I don't know where we are on time.
I don't know. Do you all need any full side time?
Right.
No, you do.
Okay.
I think if
So
we
we're
can do that and then wrap up with pictures.
okay.
That way we're kind of
And as
call
as
that
the
one.
pictures, okay, as the pictures are happening, maybe you could talk to
Yeah,
Noi,
I'd love to talk to some of the people
Brian.
here.
We have folks who actually work with us who
Yeah.
have been through these programs.
Same.
And this is just a couple of folks who feel comfortable enough to share.
Mhm.
That does not indicate the only. There's a lot of folks, and my entire agency is made up of people who lived and living experience. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you. I mean, look, we've been.
Thank you.
It's amazing, and it's right. I mean, we know that we cannot incarcerate our way out of this problem,
Right.
and we know that because for 30, 40 years it didn't work. Right. So
Right.
we have just reams of data that show it doesn't work.
Right.
And we also know that the only way out of the disease of addiction is treatment.
Yep.
But you can't just tell somebody to go get treatment.
Right.
Right. You've gotta help get them there.
Yeah.
And every time, and we were doing this, we were changing the laws, some of the laws in Kentucky. Some of the laws in Kentucky, I mean, I'll brag on Kentucky. Some of the laws here are progressive.
Right. They are.
In terms of harm reduction, and because
Mhm.
we know every time someone comes in contact with a space like this, they are a step closer to treatment.
Yes.
A step closer to getting that help that they need.
Yes.
So it's a public health emergency.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. You all are on the front lines doing it every day.
Yes.
And we're just a part of the menu of services people need, no matter where
Yeah,
they are on
that's
their
right.
journey. So I really appreciate you recognizing that, because what treatment looks like for me and you could look different. Although I think ours would be linked. But we also want people to see substances as they do bourbon. If people put that in their mind and how we treat that,
That's
and
right.
then offer that menu of services, it'll be better.
That's the same
This
thing.
question told me.
I love it.
Yes, I'm glad you did exactly what I said. As councilwoman, I have all kind of. That's okay. Do you want to take this, Mike?
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
If you do nothing else.
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 If you do nothing else.